Alright guys, after putting a ton of playtime into MXGP 2019, I think it's finally time to do my official review of the game. I have a lot to talk about today, a lot of good and a lot of bad as well, so bear with me as I break down the game and answer one main question. Is it worth the money? I know you guys want to know if it's worth it, if the game is good. So I figured I would start off by doing an overall review on the game. How does it play? Is it enjoyable? Let's talk about it. I've honestly been having a ton of fun with the game so far, and I can say it's definitely one of the better MXGP games that we have in our game library. The game looks amazing, and while visuals aren't everything, Milestone just keeps improving the look of the game, and it's awesome. It's as simple as that. The game looks amazing, it looks good, and I can't complain about the visuals. From the way the track looks to the entire vibe of each track, they nailed it. Even the deformation looks really good, but it doesn't ride good, so don't get your hopes up, guys. The ruts and deformation are mainly visual, and you'll pretty much end up blowing right through any rut that you think might be able to catch you. Now the physics are interesting. If I'm being honest, I don't think advanced physics should even exist. Your back end just slides out way too much and it almost ruins the game. It makes it unenjoyable to play. Now standard physics, on the other hand, are amazing, and playing on standard physics is some of the most fun that I have had within a motocross game in a long time. With that in mind, the game is still drift central. You guys heard it here first, man. Drift central. Actually, you guys probably already knew that from the first gameplay that got dropped, but if you can master the power slide, if you can master hitting corners with your back end just drifting, then you can master the game. That's pretty much it. It is drift central for sure. Now, I know a lot of people love the whips, and I'm sad to say it, guys. I am sad to say that they haven't really changed. You can say what you want about them. I know people are gonna say,
oh, they've gotten better. Oh, you just don't know how to whip.
Well, you know what? Here's my thing. They're still scripted and provide no creativity for the rider to show off their own style. It's a scripted whip. It's as simple as that. Now, I don't think whips are everything, and the game is overall a ton of fun so far. So whips, they're not the best, but I don't think that ruins the game. I also think it's pretty hard for us to complain about the launch content within the game. I mean, 17 tracks, the playground area to explore with 3 tracks and more events, and the track editor for like endless creative options to play. It's pretty good. Now, we did actually miss out on one of the MXGP rounds at launch, which that's a bummer. Milestone has announced that Palembang, I probably did not say that right, but Palembang will be put into the game shortly, and I think my issue with this is that they didn't publicly announce this information until everyone started questioning and complaining about the track's existence. People started complaining, wondering where this track is, why we're missing a track, and then they decided to put out an announcement being like, hey, you know what, the track is there, it's going to be in the game, just hold your horses, guys, it is coming. I would have found it a little better, I mean, as a player, as a supporter of the game, if they came up, you know, out front and were like, hey guys, listen, we're releasing the game, it's missing one track, but you will get it soon. Like, just be honest, don't try to hide that kind of thing. I don't know. I just feel like they were trying to get away with the missing track going unnoticed, which that's a no-go in my books. Now, the track editor is amazing. It's a super fun aspect to have within this game. While I do wish there was an option for us to, you know, make elevation and create some crazy elevation within our tracks, I also think it is a fun aspect to have within the game. It's not perfect. In my eyes, it's far from perfect, but it works, and it allows the community to provide a ton of tracks for the game. There are a bunch of modules to choose from, multiple environments to choose from, and you have an open canvas to build your own layout. I think the track editor has the basics and the essentials, but it could be a lot more in-depth. Custom jumps, elevation options, object placement, custom banners, the list goes on, guys. Now, another new feature, the playground, is also a really cool addition to this game, and I wish they actually went ahead and advertised this more pre-launch. Before the launch, they didn't even talk about the playground. All of a sudden, it was just in the game, and I feel like that could have been another selling point. The playground is basically an open environment for you to explore and get creative with. There are 3 tracks, a bunch of waypoint races, challenges, and more to keep you busy within the playground itself. You can race the AI on the 3 tracks, and it gives off a totally new feel from the regular MXGP tracks. The tracks are unique, they're different, and a ton of fun to play. And things like the playground definitely take the game to the next level. So thumbs up for the playground. It is really, really, really well done. Now let's talk about the AI. So the AI riders seem to be pretty competitive. It seems fairly easy to win, but then one mistake can cost you the race. So getting into the lead is not that tough, but the AI are competitive. They will be there, and if you mess up, you better believe it, they are taking that lead. So you pretty much have to be perfect and crash free to win. On that note, if you end up racing in the rain, I wish you luck. I actually wish you guys luck at the mud rounds, because it's nearly impossible to win. The AI are godly rain rippers. That is just a fact. With that being said, there is a lot that goes into the game and a lot that doesn't get noticed by everybody and all of the players. I did notice some changes with the starts. It's the little things, guys. Milestone has made some improvements so that the clutch is the only viable start option within the game. In previous games, you could hold the front brake, hit the gas, and be in a burnout waiting for the gate to drop. When the gate drops, you got a crazy boost, and it was kind of unfair, unrealistic, it didn't really make sense. In MXGP 2019, the bike actually shifts to neutral if you try to do this technique, so props to Milestone on that. I think that's just kind of like a quality of life adjustment, and it definitely improves the game in my eyes. It's the little things, man. Like I said, the little things make for so much within a game. Now I just wish I could try out a second gear start with the clutch, but we're stuck with first gear starts. I'm not sure why they don't let you shift past first gear when you have the clutch in on the gate. You're just stuck in first gear. So I know most people, like in the real world, a lot of people don't do first gear starts. Second gear starts are kind of like the move, at least second gear. I know people in Supercross sometimes do third, so then they don't even have to shift. So it is all of the little changes like that that just kind of improve the overall quality of the game, and I like it. I like the game so far. So overall, the game is good. It's a really good game, straight up. But when asking the question,
is it worth it?
I think there are kind of 2 ways to look at it. If you have all of the other MXGP games and have played them, then this game will not be anything too special. Yes, there have been improvements like across the board, but at the same time, there's just as much, if not more, overlap in content from previous games. A lot of the stuff is similar or the same, and tracks have just been, you know, slightly updated for the new year. New menus, a few new tracks, the playground, track editor, but the core game is pretty much the same. It's pretty comparable. From this point of view, coming from a standpoint where, I mean, this is my 5th time buying an MXGP game, I really think all of the good stuff could have been, you know, an update or a DLC, you know, a DLC pack for a previous game. You know, tweak MXGP Pro Physics with an update, drop a few DLCs for the track editor, playground mode, and all of the new content, and work on building that community. Give the community what they want, and it's going to start to grow, because if anything, the MXGP scene has kind of been on a decline recently. So I think a lot of people have kind of held off on paying for a full game this time around, which I totally agree with. It's not worth it when it's so comparable to last year's game. Now there's also the other side of the story. Someone who hasn't played any of the previous MXGP games and is looking at getting this game as their first MXGP title. I would say that this game definitely appeals to first-time MXGP players. It is one of the best MXGP games, if not the best MXGP game we have received to date. The game overall is good, probably, like I said, the best one yet, with amazing graphics and decent physics. It would provide like a fresh new feeling to a first time player, and in that case it would be worth the money. I think it is the overlap from game to game that is pushing everyone away from actually buying the title. People are expecting to get the same old game with each release, and it's almost getting to that point. So that's pretty much it for my review. I think the game is good. It has a ton of new features that have me hooked, yet there is a lot of overlap from previous games, which makes the game feel dry, like dry and stale really easily. Less than a week from launch and people are already starting to want to play and view other games. MXGP 2019, it's here to stay on the channel. I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I hope you guys are too. If you guys are playing it or watching the videos, I hope you guys are enjoying it. But I just wanted to keep this review like kind of real and be straight up with you guys. I don't think the MXGP series will last much longer, and we need to see some major improvements in the future, which that may be hard to do just due to the fact that the game is based off of a real life series, so they can't really go do anything like too crazy. I don't really know. I really don't know, man. It's MXGP. Hopefully I kept it real with you guys. Overall, it is a fantastic game. If it's your first MXGP game, go ahead, pick it up. You'll love it. If you have purchased the other 4 MXGP games, you might feel a different way, and you might feel like, I mean, you're replaying last year's game. That's pretty much how I feel right now. So I love the game, a ton of improvements, but is it worth $60? I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. That is it, guys. It's a fun game. Peace out.